Good Sunday morning, friends and neighbors, and welcome to Real Estate Radio with Kelly Warren and Associates. Friends, this is where the Valley's favorite real estate agent comes to tell you everything you need to know about buying or selling your home. Now, here are your hosts this morning, Kelly Warren and Jim Warren.
Good morning, and welcome to Real Estate Radio with Kelly Warren and Associates, where we talk about real estate right here on the Mahoning Valley. As usual, I am in the studio today with my co-host, Handsome Jim.
Good morning.
I was just telling Jim on the way here, I'm starting to know how many listeners that we have by the amount of people that are coming up to me saying, how's Handsome Jim? So
that's awesome. It's one of those things that's really cool because I've always wanted to be known as handsome.
Yeah.
And now that I'm on radio,
apparently,
no
if you
one can
ever wanted a
see if that's
nickname,
true or not.
You just give yourself one and buy some airtime, and there you go. People will call you that.
Totally worth it.
So we've had a super busy week. We just got settled back in from our trip last week to LA, putting a lot of those practices into place in our business, and that'll probably take us 6 months to get everything we want to do down.
But all of them are so much information that's so helpful, and it just piles on top, and you're like, oh man,
yes,
let's do this and let's do this and let's do this, and
then
there's so much stuff.
We come back into the swing of things, not just with work, but with family as well, because we had a busy week with our oldest graduating.
Oh, thank God.
So,
I was really worried about this one.
One down.
Out of all of them, this is the one I was worried about.
Yeah. So commencement and graduation and getting the house ready to have friends and family over for a little get-together. Boy, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. Every time I like the way that, because we did one for my sister a few years ago, and I like the way that we did it at our house because you made a point that it's not as stale when you do it at like a hall. It's kind of stale.
Yeah, I feel like, you do the obligatory, you show up with your card, you eat some chicken and pasta and green beans, and then you just sit there because you're supposed to for a couple hours. There's not activities or not certain traditions like a wedding would have. You're just there, So I figure at least at home it's a little more personal, a little bit more low key. You can play some cornhole or listen to music, that kind of stuff.
Just hope it doesn't rain.
Yes, knock on wood.
Yeah, really.
I better check the forecast. Speaking of rain, boy, did we have some rain in the valley last week. So we're going to get into our topic today, which is weather and how that affects real estate, because you might not think about it, but it certainly does in several different ways. A lot of our listeners had questions about the water on Tuesday and Wednesday and what that rain did to their homes and how that could change things for them.
Right.
So the idea came to me with all the questions.
It was so much rain. I was out. I was going to do a final walkthrough on a property that a buyer was buying, and I was coming from Cornersburg to south part of Boardman, almost to Western Reserve. And the house was off one of the streets off of Glenwood when you're almost down to Western Reserve. And I was driving there, and I was coming from Cornersburg, and I couldn't get across 224.
Yeah.
224 was ridiculous. It had to be 3 feet of water. I mean, it was going into the plaza. It was everywhere. I came out across the street from St. Charles and was going to turn right on 224 and head down that way. But as I was sitting there at the stop sign and you look to your right and you could see the plaza and all the cars are turning around, it was completely underwater. And there was a dumpster floating in the parking lot. I was like, what? It was crazy.
I think, I don't think that Trumbull County got it as bad. And I was home, so I wasn't out in it, but I could see it pouring down and see our yard starting to flood.
Well, our backyard has that little dip in it. It had a flipping river running through it. It was crazy.
Yeah. I was seeing on social media, though, all the posts from people of parking lots, and locally in Canfield and Boardman, Kohl's and Giant Eagle both took on water. So I know stores felt the damage from it. And of course, so did our homes.
Right.
Northeast Ohio, we've got this
The
great
schools.
concept of basements, which a lot of areas don't have. But you're below ground in Ohio. And so you're going to have contraction and expansion with weather. And you've got concrete block that, water finds a way to separate into there. So, so fun stuff. Yeah, you were going to say the schools.
Yeah.
Canfield closed school on Wednesday because of all the rain on Tuesday. I think that they did take in some water into the buildings. And so our oldest had commencement on final day of school on Tuesday and commencement on Friday. And on Wednesday they canceled school, and he's like 12 years they've never canceled school in May. He was so annoyed that his siblings didn't have to go to school on Wednesday.
He's a trip. That's so funny.
If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Real Estate Radio with Kelly Warren and Associates. We are going to be talking about weather and how it relates to your home. If you have questions about buying or selling a home or anything real estate related, you can email us at askkelly@kellysoldit.com. And if you're thinking about buying, selling, or you just need to consult with one of us, you can always reach out via call or text to 330-717-2689. That's the phone number you see on all the signs in all the yards, 717-2689. And you can go online and see us at, I know. You can go online and see us at kellysoldit.com.
717-2689. That's the number that I call mine.
I was waiting for you to echo the Kelly Sold It.
Oh, yeah. kellysoldit.com.
Yeah. Jim's little jingle is how we taught our children phone numbers. Back before our team expanded so big, that 717 number was my personal home number.
Yeah.
And so that's the number that all the kids learned at school.
That was funny.
Now they still call the office when they're looking for me.
It gets, you're right. Like, where's mom? 717-2689. That's so funny. It gets stuck in my head.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. It's one of those things that gets like stuck in there. Now,
That's good. I got your little jingle.
Now I'm going to be singing it.
And call
all
over
week.
and talk to the staff. And
They're going to start ignoring my calls.
all right, Big Jim, handsome Jim. That's right.
Yeah.
Why don't you read us some of the questions that we got from some of the listeners, and we'll try and start answering some of those.
Okay. So this one was a good one. Matt, he lives in Poland. He asks, I've lived in my home for 10 years with no water problems at all in the basement, ever. But then this past Tuesday, I did get sewer backup. Do I need to disclose that? It's not really a problem with the house, more of a problem with the city's sewer system.
Ah, interesting.
Well, so the state property disclosure says that any water intrusion, it specifically says sewer backup, doesn't it?
Yes. The question, last question on page 1 of page 2, really, because the first page is just instructions of the property disclosure. And the property disclosure is something that's required for any residential purchase or sale in the state of Ohio. And on that paper, there is an exemption form that you can sign, short sale, but only a few exemptions. Only if you are a government entity buying or selling the home, if you are a tenant who has lived in the home for more than a year prior to purchase, if it's a new construction, or if it's a trust or an estate or a probate or things like that, those are exempt. Everybody else, even if you've never lived in the house, even if it was your mom's house and you're selling it, even if it was a foreclosure, or if you're an investor and you bought it and flipped it and you never lived there, all of those people still need to sign that. Okay. The whole 5-page document, and answer all the little yes and no check boxes.
So on this question about the sewer backup.
So that last question on page 2 says, have you ever had water intrusion in your basement? And then in parentheses, and I'm not reading it word for word right now, I'm going off of memory, but it does say, including, and then water intrusion, sewer backup, all that kind of stuff. So if you've had water in your basement, yes, you need to disclose that. Yeah. And even if it never happened to you in 10 years and then all of a sudden it happened this week, you need to disclose it.
Yeah. Yeah. You always want to keep yourself protected. And we have a good rule of thumb, around us in the office is if you just tell everybody the truth, it'll work itself out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So
even if it's a hard conversation, even if it's something you don't want to say, that is something that we live by. Just Just say it. Just get it out there.
Yeah.
Swallow the frog.
Yeah, swallow the frog. I love it.
So if you do have that issue in your home and you're going to be selling or you're on the market, it needs to be disclosed. Even if your home is currently on the market and then all of a sudden we did have water this week, you need to revise your property disclosure and add that happened.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those things that you can put on there, and obviously you want to fix it. You want to fix it for yourself, period. And if you're selling your house, well, you don't want to give someone a bad house either, so you want to make sure that you fix it. You know, like if you were going to keep living there.
In some ways, instead of just saying to scare a buyer off, instead of just saying, yes, water flows into my basement, you can say,
I've been in some basement where there's a
true
literal creek running through the basement.
But if this happened one time in 10 years, you can say that on disclosure. Once in 10 years, you can say that it was during a monsoon torrential rain. It's not like during an everyday rain.
Yeah.
So you can use words like that might help put a buyer at ease. Or if you do have a solution to the problem, if you've had water in your basement and then you got the basement waterproofed and you have not had any problems since, you can say that on the disclosure. Yes, I had it. Basement was professionally waterproofed. No problem since. Or basement was waterproof, transferable warranty, or whatever. Yep. So the buyers know what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah, I think we as Northeast Ohioans, is that a real term? Northeast Ohioans?
Ohioans, sure.
I think we've come to acknowledge that basements are normally below grade and can be damp, can be moist, things like that, which is really common in our area.
Yeah, I say that to people all the time. You are below ground in Ohio. It is not a surprise to see water.
I've been in $1 million houses. It's the same thing. It's still below ground. So, as long as you're maintaining the property and if something comes up and you take care of it, you're golden. So.
Okay. What other questions do you have for us? I know there were a whole bunch on this topic.
Yeah, there were a bunch. Okay, the next one is Louise wrote, our backyard has been very, very wet this season. We will be selling to downsize soon. Should I consider putting in a French drain?
I'd really have to see your yard, Louise, to see if you should put in a French drain or if it's not that big of a deal. So
I guess it would just depend on how the water's flowing. If you're having, everybody's yard was soaking wet.
Right. Well, and even this whole season, this whole spring has been wet. Our yard, we weren't able to cut the whole yard every week, you know? So.
Yeah. So this has just been wetter than normal.
I think so.
So I wouldn't, in my personal opinion, without seeing the yard, I'd probably wait till a normal year and see how it holds water and then make a decision then.
Possibly, yeah.
So.
Yeah. A French drain's not a bad idea. It would always help, but is it completely necessary? I don't know. I'd really have to see your property to tell.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's actually a cool question. When you start getting into that stuff, there's all kinds of cool stuff that can happen. So, All right. The next one is from Connie. She's from Lordstown. What is the best solution for a basement waterproofing?
Oh boy, there's lots of them. Is the basement strictly just taking on water, or are there structural problems with bowing walls or cracked foundation, things like that? So you might have some different systems for that. Yeah. The bowing walls and the cracked foundation sometimes go hand in hand with water problems.
Right.
So any of the waterproofing companies locally, we've dealt with several of them. Of course, you want to check who you're dealing with, check out their online reviews, check their rating with the Better Business Bureau, make sure they give you a transferable warranty, make sure that they carry insurance, those sort of things. But any of the local companies, I've heard good things about most of them. I haven't personally dealt with many of them.
Well, some of them do some things that other ones don't too. So again, if you're just doing waterproofing, that's going to be different than if you need to correct a bowing wall or something.
Right. If there's structural issues with it, we see steel I-beams. We see the rebar with the pylons.
I like the hand cranks.
We see, the anchors, the wall anchors.
Yeah, I think those are cool.
My issue with that, my concern is, what if I, the new owner, don't know how to work that or don't think about it or don't ever go turn them? Aren't they supposed to be maintained and turned every so often?
Oh,
so
no,
I think they are.
But it's something if you're buying a house that has those, it's a good solution to correct an issue.
Yeah. Well,
just make sure you get the knowledge to know how to maintain them.
Any solution, if there's an issue, is certainly better than not attending to the issue. You don't want to let things just keep going wrong.
Right.
And anything that gets water away from the foundation, either by taking it away from the house, or a lot of the systems actually funnel the water into the house, into some sort of little trowel, and then into a sump that kicks it back out. Mm-hmm. So you're guiding it where you want it to go instead of letting it find its way into little cracks and stuff. I know this is a huge example that I'm about to give and over a long time, but like the Grand Canyon was made from water, right? So, like, imagine what the water can do to the foundation of your home over time and massive amounts of water. But water is powerful, and it can really mess up your foundation if it's not properly taken care of.
Yeah, and we're reaching about the 50-year mark for a lot of the cinder blocks and a lot of the homes around the area. So,
well, cinder block is another thing to consider. Some areas, Chicago has, most of the homes have the poured foundation.
Okay.
I like those poured basement walls, but most of our local basement walls are the blocks. Mm-hmm. So with those blocks, you've got a block, you've got some mortar, you've got another block, and that mortar comes loose over time, or as water pushes on it from the outside, or as ground shifts a little bit, and that does create room for the water to get in and room for things to continue to shift and crack. So just keep an eye on your stuff.
Yeah.
That's my solution of the day. Keep an eye on your stuff, folks.
You're a trip. You're so funny.
I can't.
Just keep an eye on your stuff. All right. Good plan.
Okay.
I'm not prepared. Do we want to try and do one more?
Let's go ahead and take our break, and we will come back with a couple of additional questions or home picks of the week. And we barely touched the surface on weather because we haven't even talked about rain or snow and hail and ice and all those things. We've just been so consumed in, I know, it's been rain. That's what we're talking about. So, folks, if you have questions real estate related, go ahead and email them over to us at askkelly@kellysoldit.com. Give us a call or text at 330-717-2689. We'll be right back after this break.
Hey, if you need to sell your home without all the headaches most people experience, hey, Sean Hannity here to tell you that after years of buying, selling, investing millions of dollars in real estate, that all real estate agents do not operate the same way. Now, what makes the difference between a home selling fast and for top dollar and one that sits on the market for months and doesn't even sell at all? Well, you have a great American right in your backyard that I trust if I needed to sell my home. I'm talking about Kelly Warren with Kelly Warren and Associates Real Estate Solutions. She services the entire Mahoning Valley, attracts hundreds of buyers every week, and sells an average 3 homes every week. Kelly spends thousands of dollars every month and creates demand for your home, which makes it sell faster and for more money. Don't play games with your home. Call Kelly at 330-717-2689. That's 330-717-2689 or online at kellysoldit.com. That's kellysoldit.com.
Welcome back to Real Estate Radio with Kelly Warren and Associates, where we are talking about real estate and how it's affected by weather right here in the Mahoning Valley. If you're just tuning in, we want to thank you for tuning in, and we're going to get back to our questions from this week.
I have one more.
Okay, we'll do one more question, then we'll do our home picks.
One more rain weather question. Joel in Columbiana wrote, are rain gutters a selling feature or a deterrent? Deterrent, yep. Ours may need replace. Can I just remove them? Don't remove them.
Yeah, don't remove them. Need replace, like that are not holding stuff, or they're rusting, or they're like hanging off. So I'll email you and get a little bit more information. But I wouldn't call them a selling feature or deterrent, but I would say, well, I guess maybe more of a deterrent. If they're not there, it's an issue for buyers. Where if they're there,
for your house,
yeah.
So you got to have rain gutters. A lot of people don't realize that because it's something that you don't ever think about.
Right.
Even if it's raining, you're like, what's it matter? Well, that water, if it comes down, even if you have, let's say you have a gutter that's blocked, you need to get that cleared out because the water coming down where it's not supposed to is one of the things that can kind of go up against your cinder blocks or your basement wall, and whatever it's made out of, it can start to, over time, eat away at. So I would definitely say you want them for the safety and the well-being of your home.
I wouldn't necessarily call them a selling feature, although they could be a problem for you, not just in desirability of a buyer, but in a home inspection. The inspector might flag that they're missing or that they're a problem with them, and you might need to get them fixed then. So you do want to be upfront and get everything situated with your initial offer rather than having to deal with things during the home inspection phase, if at all possible.
In my opinion, that is one of those things that a home has to have, just to be a functional home, because over time that will not be good for your house.
The gutters could be a selling feature. If you're asking me, should you get new gutters, and you were getting a nice new gutter with the guards on them so that the little helicopters can't get in them, and with the little heating pieces so that the ice melts and things like that. I mean, we could, in a listing description, say, new gutters with gutter guards, blah, blah, blah. So, blah, blah, blah. So it really could be a feature that way.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you definitely, again, you want to make sure you take care of your house. And this is one of those things that is very important. So cool.
Okay.
That was our last one for now.
That's the last one. Okay. So folks, if you have any other real estate related questions, whether we're having a monsoon that week or not, feel free to email them to us at askkelly@kellysold.com. And we're going to go ahead and talk to you about our home picks of the week. So one that I'm excited about this week is 959 Perkins Jones Road. And that one is, $249,000. It's in Lakeview School District in Trumbull County, and this is the original owner selling it. It was only built in 2000. These folks are going to relocate and be closer to their grandkids, and so I'm excited to help them get onto their next place in life. And to do that, I need y'all to help me find a buyer. This is a ranch home. It is 2 bedrooms on the main floor, nice big master suite with the walk-in closet and all that. And then a 3rd bedroom in the lower level with a rec room. Really, the lower level, the basement, is a whole nother apartment. They've got a rec room, they've got a bedroom, they've got a full bath, they've got a second little kitchenette.
You said it was a ranch. I knew the basement was huge.
Yeah, right. It has walkout access to the garage. So, if you had a young adult family member living with you or something, it's a great place for them to really feel like they have their own space. This house, also, another cool thing is it does have that first floor laundry area and a second laundry area in the basement. So I know some people prefer to do their laundry downstairs, or if you did have somebody pretty much living with you and wanting their own space, they could have their own. This house also has a nice big eat-in kitchen that has off of it what could be a little breakfast bar, but I love the way they use it is more like a sunroom. So they've got some sunroom type furniture in there, and they spend a lot of time there, and it's just so pretty to see the day change and the sun go by, and the nice big lot too. I believe this is on 1.5 acres. That again is 959 Perkins Jones Road, only a week and a half on the market. List price is $249,900. You want to see it, you can go online to kellysoldit.com or give us a call or a text at 330-717-2689 so that we can show it to you.
Okay, cool. Well, that one sounds nice.
It does, and that's your area too.
I know. I'm all about Trumbull County. I'm pulling it back up. Hold on. Is that Champion area?
Yeah. Braceville. It's out by the Kmart. Yeah, Bezzetta. Sorry.
Cool. Yep. No, that's nice. All right. My pick of the week is 11760 because I could remember all those numbers.
When you start saying more than 3 numbers, you're going in the country, folks. So 11760, where are we? Green Beaver Road.
Green Beaver Road. That's Canfield, 44406. But it is South Range Schools. It's right by the South Range campus. Like it's right by the school.
It is like your kids would have walking distance real close to their whole schools. And South Range a couple years back redid the schools, put them all together, nice new buildings. Nice. It is, yes.
Mm-hmm. I've been out there a couple times. So it's a 2-bedroom. It is also a ranch. So, it's going to have one of those ginormous basements, which I absolutely love. Square footage, it's 1,380 square feet. Very nice. We're listed at 140. We're only listed at 149.
Yes.
Good Lord. That's a nice deal.
This is brand new on the market. Showings are to start. Brand new on the market. Showings are to start Monday the 3rd. So we haven't even let anybody in the door yet. So if you are interested in seeing it and you want to be the first, there's still time. Tell us about the garage and the outbuilding.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I haven't even gotten to that stuff, and I already think it's a great deal.
Without the additional buildings, Jim's in.
Right. Well, that's ridiculous. There's no way this lasts on the market 2 days.
Right, that's the goal. We get them sold, Jim. Have you met us?
That's awesome. Okay. The outbuildings. It's on 1.5 acres. It's got 2-car attached garage.
And
2-story heated outbuilding.
so it's about the size of an additional 4,
House.
5, 6-car garage. Yes, it's a mini house. It's a ginormous shed or workshop or barn, whatever you
That's
want
so
it to
cool.
be. Endless possibilities, and that's one of the things that I love about home is you make it what you want it to be. So whatever you would need a building like that for, whether you're baking cookies outside or you're doing cars or you have camping stuff or yard work or animals or whatever it is, a home business, whatever you love to do outside, this place gives you the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Okay. So if you're
Cool.
interested in taking a look at it, where can they find it, Jim?
At kellysoldit.com.
That's kellysoldit.com,
Best
or you can
place in
give
the
us a
world.
call or a text at 330-717-2689. So we've only got a couple of minutes left. We spent the whole time talking about rain. So before we go,
What else is there? Apparently nothing.
so let's talk about the other weather aspects. So sun, let's pretend we're going to see some sun.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yes or
That's
no,
like-
Jim? Can sun do damage to your home?
I want to say no so that it comes.
You want to say no, and we all want the sun to come. I need some vitamin D in my life. However, I would say yes. If your home is painted wood rather than sided, you're going
Or
to
your
need to scrape
windows.
and paint every couple of years. You're going to have, kind of dries out,
Yep.
and that happens from the sun. Some of the vinyl or aluminum siding I've seen fades over time because of the sun.
Yeah.
So you may want to have that redone every couple of years. Windows, as they get wet and then as they get dry, some of the older windows get that dry rot seal, or you get chipped and peeling paint on your window ledges, those sort of things. So just honestly, folks, walk around your house 2-3 times a year and look at what needs done and take care of it. If
Yep.
you've got that chipped and peeling paint on a windowsill, it might at first you might not even notice it, and then it might just be, okay, there's some peeling paint and who cares? Well, if you're going to sell the house, the VA and FHA appraisers care very much.
Very much.
And over time, as the paint goes away more, critters and bugs get in there, weather gets in there. The paint really does protect the wood.
Right.
So, so that's something to consider. Let's talk about ice and hail.
Ugh.
I mean, I know this isn't the time of the year and none of us want to mentally go there, but the damage that we get from those sort of things.
Yeah. Yeah. So the ice, the way the water freezes, and then that is so strong it can pull anything apart.
Right.
So not only can it
That's the expansion and contraction I was talking about with your basements and with your rain. But
exactly your driveway pops up your
yes.
driveway, and then the concrete gets cracked and
yes,
stuff
gutters,
like that.
concrete floors, porches.
Yeah. If the ice freezes in your gutter, it actually pull up underneath the roof, and it can actually get up.
Sometimes it makes the gutter so heavy that's when they start to rip off of the house, those sort of things.
Yeah.
Storms causing tree damage to homes. So you want to make sure that you've got your branches cut away from the homes, and that if something does fall, that you clean it up and take care of it quickly. And I was going to go somewhere else. What was I mentally like? I had a thought and I rolled on.
Something else. Hail.
Ice, hail. Hail, nice thing about hail, I guess, is a lot of times when there is a big hailstorm, you are able to make those insurance claims on that. Yeah. So after a hailstorm in your area, make sure that you document that and check, how is your roof, how is your siding,
Siding
things like
gets
that.
beat up on hail.
Yeah, because you could turn around with that.
Yeah.
So weather in Ohio, we're blessed. We get the 4 seasons and we get to enjoy every one of them with all of their pros and cons and how they relate to our houses. And really just being a good homeowner is like being a good friend. And you just want to make sure that you're taking care of your house and making sure that it's in its best condition. Frigid temperatures is another thing that we didn't talk about, because if you've got a plaster house and your home is sitting vacant for a little while, if you're on vacation or out of town for the winter, or if it's a vacant home, we really see some damage done to cracking plaster from the cold.
Yep.
So maybe we'll have a whole nother segment about that in the winter. But for now, we're looking forward to sun, and nice warm days. And maybe we'll talk about some pools in the coming weeks and those fun things. So as always, thank you so much for listening. We really do appreciate our listeners. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home this season, we would love to talk to you. You can certainly give us a call at the office at 330-717-2689. You can also text us at the same number, or visit us online at kellysoldit.com.
kellysoldit.com.
Thanks for listening and have a great week.
If you're thinking about selling your home, call the only agent to trust, Kelly Warren. Kelly guarantees to sell your home or she'll buy it. Call 330-717-2689 or go to kellysoldit.com. Join Kelly for Real Estate Radio every Sunday at 8 on 570 WKBN.